Canavan disease by Jaco Zarzak. What is Canavan's disease? Essentially what this disease is a rare inherited neurological disorder. It damages the ability of the neurons to send and receive messages efficiently throughout the brain and throughout the body. It damages or limits the growth of myelin sheaths, and a myelin sheath's job is to cover and protect your nerves or neurons so it can pass information effectively. This disease leads to brain degeneration, where the brain will form into a spongy tissue, which is then filled with fluids. Genetic basis. So Canavan disease is actually a genetic mutation of the ASPA gene, which is known as aspartocylase. So aspartocylase, or ASPA, is actually located within the brain, and when this mutation occurs, you'll see a buildup of N-acetyl L-aspartate and N-acetyl L-aspartic acid. So those two enzymes that I just named cannot be broken down or metabolized, and again, that is due to that genetic mutation of the ASPA gene. When those enzymes are built up, that is actually what leads to the spongy degeneration of the brain. So overall, this will lead to brain atrophy due to insufficient protection within the brain. So it is due to the buildup of those enzymes and also the degeneration of the myelin sheaths. Inheritance pattern. So this disease is an autosomal recessive pattern, and that is where you'll have two parents who are both carriers of this disease, but they do not show symptoms themselves. So they each have one chromosome that is defected, and then they each have one chromosome that is normal. So as you can see with the image in this slide, with the possible combinations, you can have a normal child with two normal copies of the genes and chromosomes. You can have a carrier where they have one defective copy of the gene, and then you can have a child who is affective or affected, and that is where you'll see two copies of chromosomes with a defective copy of that gene. Now this disease is most common amongst the Ashkenazi Jewish population, and it will affect roughly 1 to 6,400 to 13,500 people, so it is very rare amongst that population. Symptoms and physiological effects. So the most common symptoms of Canavan disease is a larger than average head circumference, seizures, abnormal muscular tone, so their body will be very stiff or very floppy, lack of leg and neck posture, so again referencing that stiff or floppy body type, and when they eat, food will sometimes stream out of their nose when they're chewing. Management and treatment. As of now, there is unfortunately no cure or treatment for this disease, and when children are diagnosed, they typically will pass away before the age 10 mark, but in some cases, children have lived up into their 20s. But overall, you do not have a high life expectancy when diagnosed with this disease. And since there is no cure or treatment for this disease, doctors and medical professionals will always recommend a family to participate in a clinical trial. And this is to further advance their research and their understanding of this disease as a whole, and also in which various ways to attack it to potentially find a cure or treatment in the near future. And here are my works cited. Thank you very much.